Please note, this podcast contains adult language, adult themes, adult dosages, adult only pool. You get the drift. Listener discretion is advised. Dun dun. If you're looking for a light at the end of the tunnel.
If you're looking for conspiracy theories about the moon landing, spoiler, it didn't happen.
If you're looking for a VHS copy of Roadhouse.
Or if you're looking for qualified financial advice, then
this is not the podcast for you. We're back again, 2 for 2, dude. Hi. How are you?
That's so high up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm good.
What's your work day? It's Monday.
It's Monday. What a day. I had several meetings. They were all virtual. I took them from the comfort of my couch. I had my fireplace going in the background on YouTube. Made me wonder why I was like getting all these notifications like, oh, you're reaching your data limit for streaming. I'm like, why? Yeah, fireplace has been on for 16 hours a day streaming.
Oh, Canadian winters. Am I right?
It's chilly. It's got a chill in the air.
Chilly. You had a nice weekend?
Weekend was good. Did a little walkie, got a little grocery action. Let's see, John's here, so we're usually making some like tasty foods. I made a Giada sheet pan lasagna thing.
Ooh.
You know, like the top layer lasagna, how it's so good because it's like all melty and like crunchy. It's like that. It's like the top layer. It's like muffin tops, only lasagna tops.
Oh wow, that sounds really good. Tank tops, spinning tops. Pop tops. I don't know.
Over to you. I got nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I got nothing. I mean, it was a good weekend. Went out to a place I'd never been before in town called Moon Under Water or something like that. It was good. Yeah. We had the private room. It was booked for one of the guys that works at the shop is moving to Alberta. So his girlfriend or his wife put together like a going away party. So there was, his work guys and then all of his other friends. So we hung out there. And then we finally did some work in the basement. It is done. We've got the pinball machine set up downstairs. We got the bar in a different corner. Like it's less tiki, but it still has some of the best tiki aspects to it. Okay. And a couple of the little lights. And then we have the bed moved in a different direction. So it's just kind of more of like on this side, you can sit on the couch and watch TV and play video games. Or on this side, you can have a drink or fold out the bed and pass out. Like yeah. So it looks really good. The only problem is that my stupid TELUS wireless optic box won't get Wi-Fi down there. And I thought maybe the box was broken, but I brought it upstairs and it's working upstairs and I have 2 boosters and it's not like I live in a freaking mansion where I have like a west wing, but apparently I can't get it to work and it worked fine before. So that's a project for the next weekend. That's a problem for another day, as they say.
Maybe you just need a different router.
I don't know. Who knows? All of the technology with these places dies and you pay $200 a month for fucking what?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they pay in the US, but it's so expensive for TV. It's $200 a month, I think, for TV, internet, and I do not have all the channels. And that's not including what I pay for Disney, Amazon Prime, Netflix, and Apple. Yeah. That's what I pay for, like, the essentials and a couple of packages so I can watch my stupid fucking Oak Island. And that's the internet. It's unlimited internet, but still.
Well, still, it doesn't work in your basement.
Yeah, and it's not my phone included. It's not house security included. No. It's just the 2 basics. Like,
yeah, we really are like screwed when it comes to utilities because anyway, it's no secret. Everybody in Canada is in the same boat, but in BC especially, like we're stuck with BC Hydro. We're stuck with ICBC for our insurance. Like,
am I right? Yeah, I know.
I'm getting upset about
scoffing. Yeah. Let's just scoff it away. I like it. I don't have anything else to update. We just did this last week. We're like on a roll recording. I'm loving it. Yeah. I sent everything to Bill, and then I sent it again today because I didn't have the proper form. So I have no idea when the episode's coming out, but it should be soon.
Oh, good.
He hasn't been feeling too well. Bill, if you're listening, I hope you feel better. Oh,
Feel
and on a
better.
side note, happy birthday, Donal Logue. It's his birthday, him and his twin sister. It's the birthday today. He liked my photo the other day. I was very excited because he
I
is one
heard
of my
all
favorite
about it.
celebrity guys. No, this is another one.
What?
Oh, we're on. We're like
How long have
BFFs.
you been in a relationship with Donald Logue?
Oh, I can't say. If you're listening, oh my God, please don't block me on all social media. I am not weird. I'm
Did
just
I
a
tell
fan.
you? Oh, I think I emailed you with like that song where I was like, hey, don't listen to this song if you're coming off your
Yeah.
antidepressants cold turkey and also had a fling with Professor Snape when you were 17.
It's almost the same time that Josh Groban sang to you with the Space Needle.
It happened. It was
That
over
happened.
lunch. He paid, people clapped.
That's how it's supposed to work.
I gotta tell you, so like at the Space Needle, so I'm like 18, 17, I don't know. I'm wearing, yeah, you know the story. I go to the bathroom because I have to go because I've had two Dr. Peppers. P.S. They do not do free refills. Each Dr. Pepper was $5 American. It was still worth it. Anyway, I come out and like, the restaurant is a revolving restaurant, right? So where I walk out is not the same as where I walked in from because yeah, anyway, I'm like looking all over for my parents and my brother, and there they are right ahead of me. Like like the thing barely moves. Like it takes an hour and a half to move around, right? How long am I in the bathroom for? That's my story. Have you
I
ever
love
been to
it.
a revolving restaurant? There's a
I want to say that I've
stratosphere
been to that
candle.
place upstairs in Vancouver. There's the revolving.
Oh, that's
They
where
had one of
Siobhan
the.
got engaged. They closed that down.
Oh, people were getting sick or something. Was it spinning too fast?
It's just
It's
too
like Will
old.
Ferrell at Christmas. It's too fast. It's going
It's
too
too fast.
fast. It's the most one. I love that video. That's one of my favorite Christmas ones.
So
All right.
funny.
I'm going to do some shout outs to Fansets.
Okay.
Before we launch ourselves into the sexy world of Q, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Fansets. Do you like pins? Do you? Do you like Star Trek? Then surely you'd like Star Trek pins. And don't call me Shirley. They have over 400 licensed Star Trek pins and new ones coming out all the time. So get some, do it. Don't be a square. And when you hit checkout, put in the special discount code TrekGeeks, all caps lock, one word, 10% off your entire order.
Do it.
Do
Do
it.
it now.
Fansets.
Our
Our
pins
pins
have
have
character.
character.
Do we have to do that again?
No, I think it's perfect. So I wrote the synopses, but I don't want to overdo like talking so much. So how about I just stop it in the middle and you keep going, or do you want to read the first half? What would you like to do with this?
Oh, that's a good question. So, you know what? I really feel like I would benefit and the listeners would benefit from just one voice. And so why don't I just give it a go? I'm just kidding. I want it to be you because you wrote it, so
Okay.
you're going to know exactly where to pause and to
Okay.
emphasize.
All right. I'm gonna just
And I'm
finish
just going
eating
to
this
sit
cherry
back and
tomato.
watch. Okay.
I need my
What's that?
nourishment. I need my sugar.
Yeah.
Love those tomatoes.
Cherry or
Except I
grape?
don't because they're not the ones I grew. Throwback to
We've
the last
talked about
episode when
this.
we ranted.
Oh, we could still rant. In a package of brand new cherry tomatoes, I had to throw out two immediately. And I don't even know
Unbelievable.
how much they were.
That's scary.
Ugh.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is Deja Q, season 3, when Q loses his powers, right?
Yeah.
Classic episode. I love this one. Okay, here
Yeah.
we go. The band is together on the bridge. Their dance routine is done, and it's all business as they work to help a planet who has a big rock coming at them. They got 29 hours to fix the problem to avoid a potential ice age on a planet after all the tsunamis and shit. Geordi refers to the whole endeavor to an ant pushing a tricycle. Thank you, Geordi. What would we do without your colorful examples? A loud sound is heard, and then all of our dreams come true. Q, naked, served up on the bridge. Red alert, more like girl boner alert. Am I right, ladies? So dumb.
Don't do that.
Don't do it. Woot. Q is angry in gray, and it appears he's been stripped of his clothes and powers. Riker and Picard aren't buying it. Q requested being made human and brought to Picard within the seconds he had to, and was brought to Picard within the seconds he had to think on it because Picard is the closest thing he has to a friend. Troy says she's terrified, or says that he's terrified because she can't sense him, or she can now. Oh my God, I'm so confused. Troy says that she's terrified because finally she can sense him and he just wants compassion and sanctuary. But Worf has an incredible moment and we get the famous quote, "Eat any good books lately?" What
So
does that even
good.
mean? Um, Q is taken to the brig by Worf and talks and talks and talks, and Worf happily activates the force field. He seems just so pleased with just, I've had to listen to you as we walk, and now I just get to lock you up. Bye. The attempt to move the rock or whatever that's coming at the planet has failed, and now they're being scanned, a soft medical scan, a probe. Laugh out loud. Q talking about how terrifying falling asleep is cracks me up every time. I mean, really, when you really think about it, like if aliens came to Earth and we had to explain to them, like, oh yeah, like we go unconscious, like
Yeah,
daily. It's
for
kind of
like
a weird thing
several hours.
if other aliens don't do that. But Picard lets Q out of the prison. He assigns Data to him with orders to go to engineering. They've got 10 hours left, and Geordi is feeling the pressure, and Q has hurt his back, and he cries out, "Ow!" Aw, I get that. But Geordi is just like not having it. And he just wants him to like, change the law of gravity and, do what you do. And no one understands that he can't do it. And so Dr. Crusher shows up to help with his muscle spasm. And it seems to work for his pain and discomfort. And they just kind of laugh and not really care. These people are monsters to him. He's struggling. He needs help.
Mhm.
Now Q is realizing he's hungry and he heads to 10 forward to figure out food and what that's all about. Data says when Troy is upset, she has chocolate. And just like me at your 14th birthday party, he orders up 10 chocolate sundaes. And uh-oh, here she comes, Whoopsie Goldberg, who straight up assaults Q with a fork and just like jacks up this guy. I
Yeah.
mean, they're monsters. And why does it seem like Geordi is yelling a lot in this episode? Does he always do this? It's just a random thought I was having. He just seems like really like extra like loud and panicky. I guess because a planet's about to get destroyed. And it's his job to fix it. So fair enough. Meanwhile, Data, of all people, is advocating for Q. They're becoming best friends, and the captain remains concerned about everything and anything and just not Q. So Q's in engineering, and Geordi is putting him in his place, and I'm all for it. Seriously, I'd really like to work for Geordi. I think he'd be a good boss. But tensions are running high. They continue to try and move the asteroid, and I'm on the edge of my seat. Okay, so Q is being attacked or something. He's levitating, doing like a Chris Angel mind freak kind of thing in the engineering room, and Data's trying to help him, but he gets knocked out by the zapping of the energy. So Q's brush with death has him thinking on his mortality and why Data saved him. He says thanks to Data in his own way, steals the shuttle, and escapes to save the ship and allow himself to die. But of course, they want to save him, but they can't get a lock on him. But then Q's visited by another Q, Q2. He gets his power back because, it's Q. Q gave it to him. And it's all like, yeah, whatever. You did some stuff. You learned a lesson. Here's your powers. Picard thinks that Q is dead, but have no fear. He is back with a mariachi band, the best. Q wants to say thank you in a more appropriate way, and he gives Data a going away present, the gift of laughter. It's a wonderful feeling and it's super adorable. And then the view screen comes up, the moon is back in its proper orbit. Q saved the planet and the day. Engage.
Good one. I loved that. It's like I was there.
Was it? I'm
Yeah, well, I
glad
mean, I just watched it last night, so it feels
that it's fresh in your mind.
yeah,
So
exactly.
fresh and so clean, clean. How did you feel about this episode? Tell me everything so I can mute and munch on a carrot like a bunny rabbit. It's Hobby
Enjoy.
Monday.
um, well, I like you, I love every Q episode, and I loved this episode. It had a lot of one-liners that I've always referenced, so it was fun to see, like the eating good books lately. There was a couple other ones that I can't bother remembering. Um, and then I just kind of like looked up a little bit of information about the episode because I was watching it, but Candy Crushing. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting episode because it delved into a little bit of, well, I liked seeing Q a little bit vulnerable. Um and then like the internet says, the episode features some great comedic moments. Q struggles to adapt to life as a mortal and becomes the target of some classic pranks from the Enterprise crew. And it's just like, it just really goes to show that he doesn't hold a lot of weight with these people because they don't even believe that he's powerless. And at the same time, I was like, maybe this is one big thing. Like, why would he just show up naked like that? But he, anyway, um, it was it was good. I liked it.
I like that you liked it. I liked it. I find it really funny when you wrote about how it's like, oh, then he's a victim to all their pranks. I'm like, pranks? He was assaulted. They laughed at him when he was in pain. They had
Yeah,
no sympathy. They were absolute monsters to him.
they really were, and yeah, they were not giving him any grace
They
or
got
anything at
stabbed.
all. I know, poor thing.
I like it as a whole now more than I ever really liked it because knowing how spoiler alert season 2 of Picard ends, like him making the comment of like you're the closest thing I have to a friend, like it shows here that there is evidence that Q has feelings and he has a fondness for Picard and his ship. And even though he does cause trouble, it's more of like a I miss my friends. I'm going to drop in and cause some trouble and some chaos. And I like that. And I love what he did for Data at the end. Like it was an actual, like, Q learned something in this. He really, just like Data wants to become human to learn what it's like to be able to associate with his friends. If these are his friends, what does it feel like to be one of them? And so to give
Mhm.
Data that gift of laughter, I thought was like actually such a sweet little thing. It was a terrible laugh and it was so
Oh, it's
awkward,
a
but
terrible.
it's
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%.
terrible. Never
Oh
gonna
yeah,
watch it again. But
no,
mm,
but yeah, no, all of that I agree with, and I loved that he put the moon back into its orbit, and so he saved the planet too. He didn't have
yeah,
to do that. Yeah,
it's kind of Q's calling card by the end of it. He's
yeah,
pretty good at doing a last minute. I'm going to save the day.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
kind of his jam. It's
it is
true. It's
kind of
what
his
his
jam.
business card says.
This is my jam, saving lives. Oh my God. Okay. Do we have some fast facts and stuff courtesy of Internet Movie Database?
We do. Do you want?
Get going,
I'll go first.
please.
After several unsuccessful attempts by the director to film Q's nude scene without forcing the actor to actually be naked, a frustrated John Delancey finally asked anyone offended by nudity to leave, strip down, and film the scene in one take. Oh,
Wow. What a trooper.
that is professionalism.
At his best.
Respect.
Did you know that this episode contains the Picard facepalm scene, which has become quite the internet meme?
I have not heard of this meme. I'm just kidding. Could you imagine?
Get
That's
out of here.
hilarious. He's so, and like, I don't know, just watching Picard, like they're all so young.
I
Um,
know.
anyway, it's lovely. Um, this episode is John Delancey's favorite appearance as Q. He reportedly said that he had legitimate fun on set. This was also his last appearance before the release of Taking Care of Business in 1990, where he appeared with Next Gen co-star Gates McFadden. Dr. Beverly Crusher, just for those who don't know.
So, when Riker orders Worf to call any other Federation ship for assistance, his mouth moves as if he says "Aye, sir," but no sound is heard. We're on sound, guys. Wake up!
Continuity. That's not a continuity error. Well, when Worf tells Q to prove his mortality by dying, Worf's arms are crossed. In the very next shot, his arms are at his sides. And I could see Worf going like, hmm, hmm,
Like
hmm,
Blue Man, Jeff Goldblum Man group. Data tells Q that he ingests a semi-organic nutrient suspension in a silicone-based liquid medium to lubricate his biofunctions. Data is an android and would therefore have no biofunctions.
yeah, that whole sort of conversation was strange to me. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't eat that. We've watched. You don't do that.
We've
And
never
why?
seen
Yeah,
it.
why would you? And then what was the value of that conversation?
Yeah.
Also, can I, as an aside, when they were in 10 forward, it just seemed like super okay, I don't know of another word to use, ghetto. And it reminded me of the convention 10 forward, which was like the worst thing I've ever seen. Like one broken stool that was sort of like on a spindly leg, and then just like gray, but also fluorescent lighting. Anyway, and so I just like looked up the other, because this is the 1701D, and I thought like maybe the E is the class that I
Yeah.
like. Anyway, I can't tell. I think it was just like a I basically I didn't want to go there. It didn't look cool.
Yeah, I want to know what they were thinking when they thought like, hey, we're gonna have this bar where people can come and unwind after a long day working in basically the space military. And what have we seen? Terrible plays, jazz music, classical. I mean, where's the music bingo, people? Where is karaoke
Karaoke.
night? Where's
Hmm.
the wing eating challenge?
Where's
I'm
the
sure
air
there's
guitar
hot sauces from
challenge?
all over the galaxy that people have to try. And,
Who is like the fun manager on this ship?
yes, who's the social committee? There's got to be a social committee.
There
I
obviously
want
isn't.
to, well, that would be my role. Happily would take it for about a couple of weeks and then no one wants to participate. And I'd be like, I'm out. I don't have time for this. All
You
right.
also,
Are you up or am I up? You're
I'm
up.
up. Guinan stabs Q quite forcibly in the hand with a
Yeah.
fork-like object. He receives no medical attention and seems to be perfectly fine and without stab wounds soon after. She was kind of a biatch.
A little bit. I guess he got it coming. I mean, he's done some stuff and apparently more than we've seen. But either
True.
way. After Data is incapacitated, Q is allowed to walk around without a security escort. This seems highly unlikely as
Yeah,
Q is presumed never to be trusted.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's to see it though.
Oh,
Despite
100.
that, it's to see it.
Yeah,
Hell
oh,
yeah.
absolutely. You have to.
Um, would you rather have Q powers for 1 year than die right after, or just be you?
Oh, I'll just be me. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I don't really want to die in 1 year. And
Yeah.
also, I don't know that I would be responsible enough with the powers to not somehow die myself, just assuming that I
Right.
wouldn't be immortal.
Okay. I agree. But
Okay.
if you had Q powers for 1 hour while working on the Enterprise, what would you do?
I would renovate 10 forward into a freaking place that I
I
would
would put myself at the
bother.
top of the social committee,
Yeah.
Deborah. Like,
Um, and then what else would I do? I would just I'd probably do some pranks. I'd probably like get a holodeck program going and then like transport people in there who didn't even like realize that they were transported and then they're like suddenly in a holodeck program. And um I don't know what the program would be. Go.
well, I mean, Q's got unlimited absolute total powers. So if it's me, like me as me, and I'm on the Enterprise, I'd be like, well, I want to instantly like go see my friends and family that might be on a different planet, or I'd want to go back in time and go to Woodstock or whatever I was interested in, or travel
Oh,
to like a far off place that no one's ever been, or go back in time and kill Hitler myself. I don't know. Like,
I see. So
but
it's
what am I into though?
really
I don't know who I am
well,
on the Enterprise, but I'd probably do
this is
something pretty
it.
outrageous. I got
Well, I just
I got
wanted
an
to
hour.
improve. Yeah. So
I give
you'd want to
myself
like
powers
leave?
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I'd go on
Build a
a
coalition.
45-minute tour of the Cheesecake Factory kitchen, and
My
that's it.
God, I would love that. Apparently, they make everything from scratch or a lot of things.
Yeah, I'd take a nap.
Um, but
Um,
you'd like immediately get off the ship, it sounds like.
well, I think if you suddenly had the power to go anywhere and do anything, I'd probably be like, I'd like an hour break from work. I think I'll use my lunch hour right now and do something
Have
a
a
little more
nap,
fun than this.
have a salad.
Bring you along. Yeah.
Okay.
Go get some Chicago deep dish. I don't know. Or a New York
Mm,
slice in New York.
New York.
Ice cold beer. Go on a
Mm.
boat with T-Pain. We can make that happen. We can do everything we want, anything we want. If
Renovate
you
10 forward.
We can renovate 10 forward and put ourselves in charge of the social committee.
It'd
There
be
we go.
fun.
What would make you laugh like how Data laughed?
I wonder. So, first of all, we
Hmm.
won't go into the laugh, but that was not a real laugh. I wonder what his motivation for the laugh was.
Mhm.
That probably wasn't the first take. What would make me laugh like that? I don't know because that wasn't a real laugh. And but it was unrestrained in a way. I don't know, like a really good episode of American Dad makes me laugh pretty hard. I feel like you have an answer to this.
I don't, but I'm thinking on like, I mean, when we used to have offices close to each other, we'd have lunch. Like, I would laugh to the point of crying, like on a
Oh yeah.
daily or weekly basis. And I'm trying to think of like scenarios that would just have me like in absolute stitches. Like, oh, like, it's probably like when your camera broke and it was stuck to your nail and we're in Vegas and I bent over like about to pee myself because I'm laughing so hard and we're just like in that zone of like, oh my God, like we're putting sticky notes up on the wall, we're drinking Ed Hardy wine, your camera's attached to your nail.
I've like
I've
crushed
got
the lens back into its
I got a
casing.
shit my dad says pin on my freaking tube top. Like I was wearing a tube top. I mean, this is all and my nail falls off. Like it's just that moment of chaos where you're laughing just so hard and you're in that moment of like pure like
I
bliss.
was
Like
saying chicken pump. Um,
exactly.
putting the post-it note up on the closed down experience that says "We're coming for you, Michael Dorn," and then having it removed because it sounds like a threat. Oh,
Exactly. In the nicest way possible.
we're
Okay,
coming for
we
you,
got
Dora.
7 minutes, so we have to upgrade to pro. So I'm going to count us out and then we will come back for some spoiler warnings, Picard season 3, episode 2 talk. All right, so I'll see you in a minute. We're back.
God, like I did not select the checkbox that says automatically connect to audio and stuff because I'm like, why does it keep doing this? You know what? Zoom, it is not inconvenient to stop a meeting and then send another meeting invite for free to have this for free.
Mm-hmm. I'm okay with it.
I'm fine with it. I because we just started, make a note of the time or whatever because you may just want to cut my whole meltdown. I don't know.
I
It might not be good enough.
I think it's going to be, I'm on the edge of my office chair. This is why I have back problems. So, okay, here we go. Spoiler warning. If you haven't seen season 3, episode 2 of Picard, you can leave. Bye. We'll talk to you later. Come back and listen
Yeah.
another time. Haley, let's start with you. I watched it this morning just to refresh myself. I saw it maybe like a few months ago, so I kind of forgot
Yeah,
specifically what happened in this episode.
for
It's
sure.
great. I can't wait. So go.
There's really not a heck of a lot that I recall from this episode other than I had this like random meltdown. So just like for context, people, I am like cold turkeying off some like mental health meds and starting some new ones. And so like my emotions are like totally all over the place. And I'm like bursting into tears for no reason. And I feel fine when it's happening. I'm just like, what? Anyway, so like spoilers. So we're watching as so we're on the bridge of the Enterprise. Crusher has just come out of the what is that
The
room?
Titan?
Yeah, sorry, they're on the Titan. I'm sorry.
Here we go.
Ooh. Oh no. I made a mistake. So I'm looking at the on-screen reunion and I'm also thinking about like there was a prior scene where Riker accuses Picard of not doing anything. Like, so what are you gonna do? Why aren't you gonna do anything? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, and then I was like puzzling, like the gears are starting to slowly move. I'm like, whoa, could Picard actually be the father of Beverly Crusher's son? Like, what does that mean? Like, when did they get together? Why aren't they together now? So I'm like starting to like get super emotional about that. But meanwhile, I'm like laughing internally to myself at the thought that some people must think that Patrick Stewart and Gates McFadden hadn't seen each other until this episode where they step onto the Titan together and they see each other for the first time. And I'm like, that's so stupid, those idiots, because I know they've seen each other because they go to conventions all the time. Bunch of stupid idiots feeling sad or excited or emotional about this. Idiots. And then I thought it would be funny if like John looked over and then he saw like tears in my eyes, even though I was really like moved by the scene itself, because
Yeah.
And then but also then I remembered that like not 20 minutes before this, I found out that Raffi is playing at the Royal Theater,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Like from my childhood, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Not
oh my
Raffi
god,
from Star Trek. Raffi from
right,
the
different
musician.
Raffi, yes, the children's musician. And I was like, oh my God, I should go to that because I think it would be really therapeutic. But I also thought like I would just cry the whole time. And then who would want to be there? Like, who's that weird lady crying? Anyway, I found out. So after I found out that he was coming and all that stuff, and I had this whole thing of should I go or not, I found out it was sold out. And then I was kind of upset about it. And then Picard says that Jack is his son. And like I'm already half kind of crying as a joke, but then John looks over and I like kind of I can't really speak and like just all these tears come out and I'm like, it's so awesome that he's his dad, but I don't know how it happened. And then I just start like I'm like sobbing and John's laughing and he's and I'm also laughing because I'm not really upset, but I can't stop. And then he goes, well, but you know that he was his dad. And I'm like, I didn't know for sure. And then I'm just like losing. Like also laughing because I'm not really
Yeah.
that moved by it, but it's also really funny.
It's just the floodgates get going. It's
It's
like when
just
you
like,
have like a laugh attack and suddenly you're
yeah,
laughing at the how you sound laughing, and then suddenly
yeah,
everything's funny. Like that was me last night when I was really stoned.
yeah, yeah. And so I was also stoned. And so I was like, so extra laughing, extra crying. And then I'm like thinking that we're missing like a golden opportunity to like record this on TikTok because it's incredible. And like we could be millionaires. And then I kind of joked that I was crying about missing the opportunity to put it on TikTok, but because I'm such a mess, I actually did start crying.
Oh my God, I love it. I wish I saw it. Oh, John, you are such a brave, strong
He puts
man.
up with so much. I
Oh.
this and then I absolutely fucking lost my mind when Worf came to the rescue. And and then I decided to also tell John, I was like, also that's Michael Dorn and he looks the best out of all of them. He's aged the best because he went vegan a long time ago and puts mustard on everything as his condiment. And John's like,
You know
he's
too
like, do
much
you
about
think
Michael Dorn.
well, no, he was like, do you think being vegan like makes you a healthier person? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I was still crying, so it's fine. I
Oh my
just
God.
so like, but so his how did Picard become this guy's dad?
Okay, you got to think back to the series finale, series finale of TNG when he's jumping through space and time in All Good Things, and in the future they make reference to the fact that him and Crusher are divorced, as in post Nemesis they tried to be lovers, they tried to, they got married, they got divorced. They don't really touch on it that specifically in this, but in All Good Things they're divorced when he's way in the future or whatever. But that's kind of like all, you know, up in the air with like,
I
you know,
also okay. First of all, I'm starting to have like a crying episode just thinking about this. Okay,
awesome.
no, capture it. So like when it's
It just like,
like also another thing I was thinking about when they were all in the fridge.
good.
Oh my god, I'm losing it.
Why
Because
don't you
like,
type it and I'll say it?
but can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now. When they're all on the bridge.
Yeah, and then like Crusher comes out and her and Picard are looking at each other and it
Yeah,
like zooms up on her and like she looks amazing, right? Like she looks so good.
so good.
But you were like, oh, she said me too. And then of course I'm like, what's she gonna do? Like the guy from the suit warehouse guy.
Yeah. I guarantee it. Oh, I got
Oh
makeup
my
in
god.
my eyes. Now I'm crying too.
Oh, it's so funny. Anyway, so this is also what Sean has to deal with on a daily basis right now. Anyway, and then so like I'm watching Deja Q, right? And I'm just like thinking, what did she do to get her hair black?
Yeah.
Like, did she dye her hair? Was she wearing a wig? Was she dyeing her hair red during the show in TNG? Was that like obviously something happened that she's become a bit of a badass? Not that she wasn't before, but
Yeah.
and the like, dark hair makes you look more like a badass. Look how quickly I transitioned from like a nightmare crying person to just this. I don't get it.
I love it.
Oh, that was good.
What are your thoughts on Shaw in this episode? Because
Yeah.
I love him and I feel like him and I have so much in common that it's that exhausted sarcasm of when you have to deal with difficult people. Like he's just always like sighing and like
Yes.
almost rolling his eyes. Like as soon as Picard and Riker walk the door, he's just like, oh fuck, what now? Like it's just I love it because I'm like, that's me at work all the time. Like, what do you want from me
What
now? Like,
now?
why are you causing trouble? Can't you just behave yourself, you silly little boys, right? Like,
Well, and I wonder as well how much of their legacy he's had to put up with on a daily basis.
yeah,
You know, and when we talked about it last time, And I was like, this guy's mean. Like, you should let them do whatever they want. And it's like, no, that's not practical. And it's
Yeah.
not a very good show either.
Or I think about like these two guys caused so much trouble that they ruined it for the rest of them that maybe Shaw has to work under different rules now that aren't as fun because these guys caused so much trouble, right? Like,
This is it. Got to take your shoes off at the airport. Fucking
yeah,
20 years
one
later.
guy. Fuck
One
that
guy.
guy.
I have
Oh,
terrible foot odor. This is a problem.
yeah.
Um, yeah, that was a Family Guy reference. Anyway. Oh, by the
uh,
way, I'm drinking out of this mug, and it used to say totally the best sister ever, but now it just says the best ever because the dishwasher took away most of it. Just so you know.
well, I know what you are.
Was this the best
Bestest
episode
best
ever?
friend ever. What did you think about Amanda Plummer, the
Huh?
villain?
That was Amanda Plummer?
Yes,
Hold
Christopher Plummer's
on.
daughter.
Oh, I'm
Christopher
thinking
Plummer
of it.
was in Star Trek as a villain. She was the
Oh,
one from
her.
Pulp
Okay.
Fiction, and she was
Fisher
in
King.
yeah, yeah,
The Fisher King. If you, oh, Sean's like, I recognize her, and I'm looking her up, and I'm like,
Hunger
oh yeah,
Games.
she was in the Fisher King, and I'm like, oh, that's really like it was a nightmare. Anyway,
Oh,
okay, I feel like there's another Amanda Plummer or another actress that I was getting confused with,
oh,
but good for her. She plays crazy very well, and she
yeah.
was very good.
She was so
Um,
good.
do you think that they would have killed Jack if they had gotten him?
I don't know.
Did they get him? I can't remember what happens at the end.
No, at the end, he's like, "You can't take him. He's my son." And then he's like,
Right.
engaged, and they just start escaping. And she's like, "Ooh, let's go chase them."
Yes.
So now it's a
Okay.
bit of a chase, right? And
Yeah.
then, um, Raffi is so good in this. Not the singer, the character Raffi. The
To each
layers
their
of the
own.
character, like talking to her ex-husband, and then he's got the audacity to be like, you have to pick or choose right now. It's your family or your career. Like it's she's just such a great, flawed, strong character. I just love watching Michelle Hurd play that part. And then to find out it's it's been Worf.
This
That
whole time.
female computer voice has been Worf. Like, oh my God.
When he
So
shows
good.
up and he just like,
Oh,
you just
picks
know
her
that
up
he
in
can
one
take
arm,
care
like
of you forever.
yeah, he looks so good with that white beard and like, oh,
He looks
love it. He
amazing.
looks
He looks
amazing.
amazing. Way to go,
Um,
Michael Dorn, keeping that
absolutely. Keep doing
mustard.
it. Whatever you do, keep doing it.
Oh,
My favorite line though was when they're like, "What just happened?" And they're like, "She just threw a ship at us." Like when like, is it Baddock is the villain's name? She just takes the ship and just throws it at the Titan. Like,
it
oh,
was
okay, we've never
amazing.
seen that happen before. That's pretty
That
epic.
was it was epic
Yeah.
and like yeah, LaForge did some maneuvering for sure, but like
Yeah.
it still scraped up the whole big time.
Yeah. So what do you think's gonna happen this week? Any thoughts? Any questions? Anything you're
Well, there's got to be at least a sit down between Picard and Jack where there's a cup of tea involved. And you know what? Prediction. They both like Earl Grey tea hot.
oh my God.
I hope
Imagine.
so. What are the odds? Pretty good. Also, like, I wonder, I want to know more about Jack Crusher. Like, was he born in the UK? Is that why he has the UK accent, or is it just because, yeah? I mean that doesn't really mean anything because Picard is from France.
French.
Yeah. So anyway, and then what else do I want to have happen? I'm worried about Seven. I think that she is trying to still find her place and she's trying to find her place as a second in command in a more structured environment and working with Shaw is, you know, I can see
Yeah.
that's a problem, but I'd like to see her kind of turn a corner a little bit or have a little bit more faith in herself because she's so badass. And then I also want to see Wesley.
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 Wesley. Now, remind me, the actor who plays Jack Crusher was on Downton Abbey. Who was he? Was he upstairs or a downstairs?
I think he was a Mary contender.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. I don't think I
Uh,
remember him working downstairs with them.
Ed Spieler, Jimmy Kent. Jimmy
Okay.
Kent. Okay, wait, stop. Jimmy Kent Downton. This is important.
This is important. He was quite
He
good
was
on
a
that.
no,
He was,
no.
yeah,
He
he was
was
a
a
footman.
footman. He was a
Yeah,
footman.
yeah. I thought he
Look at
was.
his hair. It is him. He's also in You, the newest season of You that I just
Oh,
watched. Part
I
one.
just, I've seen the first season. like when it first came out. So I'm doing a rewatch of season one because I'm really kind of curious, like, where the hell does this story keep going? This guy's got
Oh,
like multiple
please
seasons.
keep watching.
Okay.
It gets freaking weird, dude. This is the
Yeah.
only show that has made me so uncomfortable that I've turned it off. Where I'm like,
Ooh.
that's enough. That's
Yeah.
enough. That creeps me out so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it is about the stalking kind
Well,
of,
yeah.
but it's he plays it so well. I love his TikToks. He's such a funny guy. Well, or if he
Oh,
plays one on TV,
yeah. A
or if
new
he plays one
season.
on TikTok.
Yeah, he's on TikTok. He a new season of the Formula One Drive to Survive just got dropped on Netflix, so we've been watching it because it was like the last year's races. So now we're getting all the inside drama. And one of the owners, the guy who is like the president or this whatever of Red Bull Racing, his wife in real life, Ginger Spice.
What?
Yeah, she even showed up in an episode when it was just like him at
Sherry
home.
Hollowell?
Sherry Hollowell.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
God. Mi Chico Latino.
So good. I
It
love
is a
the
good
Spice
song.
Girls.
Me
Diva
too.
forever. Um, all right. I don't think I have anything else about Picard right now. It was a good episode. They're all good episodes. I just remember as somebody who watched the first six, I just remember after watching like episode one or episode two, I was like, how come we don't have everybody back together on the original ship right now, just reminiscing over, coffee? Like, I don't want to see any action. I just want to see
Just
characters
sit.
hugging, little karaoke in the upgraded 10 forward. So, the fact that, it's a 10 season send off. So I love that. It's like, okay, in episode one, you have some questions. In episode two, you're getting some answers. You're already finding out that Jack
Yep.
Crusher is who Jack Crusher is. You're already seeing Worf. Like the villain has been introduced twice,
Yes.
Shaw and Beck. No, I don't think Shaw's a
Good one.
villain. I like Shaw a lot. I just think he's so relatable.
I
Somebody
think
who's
there's,
just so like, I need a fucking vacation. Why didn't I?
oh,
Where's HR? I'm so done with this today. I'm just like,
I
get it.
hope or predict that he will do something kind of crazy and a little reckless by the
I
end
don't
of the
know. Wouldn't
season.
that be fun?
Just
I
let
want
loose
the
a little.
spin-off series. I'm ready for it. Get the
Yeah, I'd watch
Shaw
it.
show. The Shaw show. The Shaw Shank Redemption 2. No, that's not
Green Mile.
There we go.
The Green Mile.
It. It's just anything Stephen King. That does it for another episode of Rewind. We're back. We've done two. We're gonna do more. That was Deja Q, and we hope you loved it as much as we did. Tune in next time when we cover the episode where Riker wakes up in the future.
Say what?
We'd like to thank a few folks like the Trek Geeks Podcast Network, Bill and Dan, and 5-Year Mission, and Fansets, people on Patreon, people not on Patreon,
I'm
all
not on
the
Patreon.
friends on Twitter. If you want to get active and follow, I'm always looking to get new people on Twitter so that I can tweet out about the show. It's Van Island Sarah. Van as in Vancouver, Island Sarah, no H. There you go. No excuses. Yeah, and if you're digging what we're doing at the Trek Geeks Podcast Network and you want to support, just check out Patreon, and there's different levels of subscriptions, and you can get t-shirts and shit. Who wouldn't want that? Until next time, stay classy, San Diego.
Lanolin?
Like sheep's wool? Don't you mean Saint Diego? Whale's vagina.